for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, what's going on? Big D Energy
Big
here
D.
on a Boxing Day. D-Mac, Darren McCarty here. We got Jesus Justin Sadwa sitting in.
Sats.
First trip on the SS Big D Energy for you, isn't it, kid?
Nope, it's my second trip. I had an appearance for Neil Rule, I think, last week, so this is my second time up here for Big D.
Oh,
it's
you
an honor.
did?
Happy Boxing Day, by the way.
Well, happy Boxing Day. Technically, I get paid double today because I'm Canadian and it's a holiday over there. First day, is today the first day of Hanukkah?
Last night was the first night of Hanukkah.
Last night was the first night of Hanukkah.
So technically
I
first day.
did see down at Campus Marshes, they lit the biggest menorah in the world or something like that.
Yeah, so
Wow.
shout out Campus Marshes. They have actually taken over as the best outdoor skating rink in the United States from the Rockefeller Center this year.
Wow,
So shout out
facts
to
that
Detroit.
you wouldn't get. Well, Neil might give you those facts. Anyways, as always, joined on the ones and twos. KG, how you do?
I'm doing good, man. How was your Christmas?
Christmas is good. Christmas is good. Yeah, we'll go around the room real quick. Spenmo Rex, how was it, bud?
Oh, it was good. It was fun. You know, family got out. We were at my grandma's house, so it was a lot of fun hanging out with them, and I was playing with my nephew for a lot of it, so it's a good time.
Best gift.
The best gift, my brother's got me a gift card for Apple. He got me an Apple gift card 'cause I need a new computer. So
You did say that.
Yeah.
So towards that, shout out
Yep.
to the Raxter brothers and Danny for raising such good. What about you, KG? You said it was a
It's a light
mellow-
Christmas. The finances ain't necessarily worked in our favor this year, but me and the wife, we just did a solo mission, man. Christmas movies. She cooked pork chop dinner. First time having fried pork chops in almost 2 years. I absolutely love fried pork chops. So,
Yeah,
pork chops
man,
are unreal.
so good, man.
what
Shout
movie?
out, Bay. Oh, we watched Red One. We watched.
I waited. I saved that one.
Yeah, oh, you did? Yeah.
Till I was watching that like midnight.
I'm
it
so
was
glad
solid. It
you
was
guys are
solid.
saying that it's solid. I heard bad things
No,
about it, and
it's
I was
what
so
it is.
excited to
It's,
watch
yeah,
it.
it's what it is.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
just
what
a
it is,
funny
and it's a-
action comedy
Yeah.
Christmas movie.
I thought it was solid for what it was.
It was solid for what it was, and
I'll give it a
any
watch.
of us who enjoy the lore and the medievalness, and maybe some stories, like you get the Krampuses and
Yeah.
the Christmas witch and stuff. So that was good. What about? Well, maybe I should ask you next week or whatever. How does it work? You also informed us that you're both Christian and Jewish. So
Right.
Yeah,
so
fancy
you double
Christmas.
dip.
Yeah, so shout out my mom for being Jewish, shout out my dad for being Catholic.
Shout out.
But yeah, we actually celebrated all 8 days last night because my mom is unfortunately going to Florida for all of Hanukkah, so we will not be together. So we celebrated Christmas in the morning and Hanukkah at night. It was a whole lot of fun. Best gift was I got a black Jameer Gibbs jersey, and I got a Lucas Raymond Red Wings jersey. So look out for those coming up very soon.
Two very solid. And when you say that, I draw comparisons
Yeah.
to what they mean to each other's teams. Are definitely one of the best performers on each. Those are two solid jerseys. You can't go wrong. For me, shout out Big Boogie. I got a sick ass pair of new Nike black, and they're my colors, right? So they're black and red.
Ooh.
I was gonna bring them in to show them off, but I didn't want to take them out of the boxers, so all leather. They will be on display. They will be my show shoes for the comedy tour and
There we
speaking
go.
There you
engagements
go.
and stuff like that. So
Make sure you hit that up for
Gotta
D-Man.
take care
yeah,
of the good
well,
ones,
we
man.
will. And actually, just small little shot. But the best gift in the house was Uncle Brian got Princess Penelope Lou, 6 foot tall. I'm going home today to put it together. Cat,
she's gonna
treehouse,
go nuts.
mega.
Oh, my God.
Like this thing, this box, Spenny, has to weigh 100 pounds.
Yeah, I bet.
It's unbelievable. So Princess Penelope Lou.
The best gift in my house was actually, and I think this is right up Spenny's alley, is my sister got this cocktail machine that is like a Keurig cocktail machine where you put in the liquor and then you take the pods and there's literally 300 different cocktails on their website. It is crazy. Yesterday we tried this cranberry vodka drink that was in the holiday pack. Was absolutely unbelievable. It felt like it was just made right from a bartender.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a Keurig bar, look it up on the internet. It's pretty sick.
No,
And his fancy gifts.
that does. Now, was that part of Christmas or Hanukkah? How does that work out?
That was Christmas.
That was Christmas.
Yes.
Awesome. That's good because you get them out of the way so you can enjoy them during Hanukkah. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Everybody, how about food? Kenny talked about the pork chops
Yeah,
and he's Spenny.
Beautiful pork
I had a
chops.
huge, we had a big lasagna.
Yeah.
Big lasagna.
Ooh.
That was the
that sounds
lasagna
good.
garlic.
I'm a simp for lasagna.
I like the elk tenderloin we had on Christmas Eve more than I like the prime rib.
elk tender. You hear this guy? Elk tenderloin.
The elk tenderloin. That's crazy. We had a great
My
spread.
dad shot it though.
Great spread at Christmas. We had, mashed cheesy diced up potatoes that we always do. It's like cubed potatoes with cheese and stuff on.
Do you get them
It was
scalloped?
really
Are they
good.
scalloped or are they hash browns? Because they
they're
changed
just-
mine from scalloped to hash browns this year, and I was pissed.
Yeah, it's neither. They're like just
Yeah,
chopped up
it's just cut up.
potatoes. Yeah. The mastacholi
I'll never
was
beat
really
the
good.
allegations.
Hella pierogies,
No, never.
turkey, ham. It was good. Good dinner for sure. I ate a lot. Way more than I should have.
Oh yeah, this morning I was feeling that Christmas Day dinner.
Oh, yeah.
I ran to the bathroom a couple of times mid-show. It was pretty brutal.
Nice. Speaking of Christmas and all the festivities, did you guys happen to catch any football yesterday? Netflix
yes.
debuting.
Horrible.
Netflix pulled out all the stops though. I mean, they deserve some credit for the production that they put
Yeah, it
on
was a good
after
broadcast.
dealing with the Mike Tyson dilemma with the lagging and that. But they made a elite crew. All the personalities were amazing. What are you laughing about?
Franco SH says Joe Rogenstein over here with the elk tenderloin.
All right, I deserve that. But anyway,
That's
they
funny.
pulled out all the stops for Beyonce at the halftime show. I genuinely think that was better than most Super Bowl performances of the last couple of years. They
yeah.
put all that Netflix money into the halftime show and the production of the day. I thought it was I enjoyed it because I'm not a big NBA guy, especially since it's all become shoot a bunch of threes at the biggest volume possible. I like college basketball better, so for me, I was watching football all day. I loved it. I was extremely happy with the way that Christmas Day football.
Shit, the basketball was better than the football.
Much
you ask me.
better.
Well, a lot better, man. More competitive. But, I mean, in terms of the broadcast, he's right. Like, they fixed all the hiccups, which you knew they would. I told you last week when Roger make that call,
It's
you know,
that
you
NFL money,
you gotta
baby.
tighten that shit up when Roger called, man.
Yeah.
But, the broadcast was absolutely flawless. I love all the personalities that they had, actually calling the game and on the sidelines and everything. The halftime show was amazing, but the football, absolutely putrid.
Oh, yeah, it was-
it was
Yeah,
brutal.
right. The production. Spenny, because I want to touch on the halftime show.
Yeah. No, fuck that. Fuck the NFL. Stay off Christmas. I'm with LeBron. Christmas is for basketball.
It is.
Christmas is the NBA. You had a bunch of just fantastic
It was
games.
good games,
The
yeah.
stars going at it on the biggest stage. I watched maybe 2 quarters of football. I watch NBA on Christmas.
turned it off.
Christmas
Both
is for
games.
basketball.
The 2 football games probably outviewed. Was there 4 basketball games?
Yeah, 5.
Yeah,
But it just
5
go-
stuff, but 4. I bet you the 2 outdid if it was 4.
Yeah,
But
probably.
it just goes to show you the power and stuff like this. But I wanted to touch on, right, the halftime show by Beyonce. Couple things. I've never seen anybody use the whole football field in a performance.
Even the
and
stadium
how
on the
spot on
walkout.
it was. But
Yeah.
what it got me, Kenny, from watching, and you nailed it, from going from the first tryout with the Tyson Paul fight and all that, the glitches that they had, how would they improve here? Because what do I care about? I care about what, January 6th?
Yeah.
WWE
Yes,
coming
sir,
to Netflix.
Raw, yeah.
Did that halftime show not the wrestling mind, the WWE mind? What is that gonna look
No,
like?
that production is going to be crazy
Like
when they
that's
get
gonna
Raw.
be like
Yeah.
so what I'm saying is it's nice to see, and I know like it's the NFL and everything else, but just because you should doesn't mean they always do. So
Right.
they threw the money at it. And so for all the wrestling fans out here getting ready for WWE on Netflix, I think that you've had to, if you had a trial with the fight,
Yep.
and now this is the first regular season game at Christmas time. This was the first big one.
Yeah.
it's only going to make this WWE production
and
so much
Raw
better.
won't do as many viewers as football, of course, but that's a big audience, and I think they'll finally launch like the cinematography era of wrestling when Raw eventually gets to Netflix, because they putting a lot of money in that budget, so it's gonna be tight, man. I can't wait for it. I can't wait.
The last thing I want to comment on this is the fact that the NFL has continued to take no prisoners on whatever day that they decide that they want to play their football games.
Yeah.
No one can compete. They will continue to do it. They don't care. They don't care about the NBA on Christmas Day. They don't care about the college football playoff. They don't care about anything. If your sport's on it and it's an NFL day, it's an NFL day, and they will make it an NFL day.
That's just
That's a
facts.
fact, yeah.
And that's 365 days a year.
Yep.
Because what's the thing in the offseason, Spenny?
The draft.
What
The
happens? You
draft,
could be
yeah.
right in the heat of the World
Free agency and
Series,
draft.
NHL Stanley Cup, and there's breaking news. Who signs where? Who does what? Who got fired? NFL runs the show, and they know that. And then, did anybody look at it like, like there might be a little bit of, rift between Adam Silver and Roger Goodell about when it comes to...
Yeah, I think it's a little bit there.
Yeah, Roger Goodell's a big dumb bitch. You greedy fuck.
Fair enough. Well,
Nobody
yeah.
wants to see a fucking NFL game on a Wednesday, you loser. Just wait a day.
Yeah.
I will agree with that sentiment.
No, I think that's
He's got guys playing on Saturday the week before so they can play Wednesday the next week. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next collective bargaining agreement for the NFLPA to be like, hey, you're not doing that.
You really think they gonna stand up against
Yeah,
it?
Yeah.
how do you not? If you're the players, you are just constantly changing your schedule where you are committing your body to getting hit on a consistent basis, and you see how much the injuries are lying on the Lions right now. The Lions had played that brutal schedule of the Thursday games,
Yeah, 3 games,
and
12 days.
all that bullshit,
Yeah.
and now they are they just are so injured, they're so beat up, and it's a mess. And now you're gonna see, hopefully the Chiefs and the Steelers and the Ravens and the Texans don't have to deal with that, but they could when you change the schedules that these players are used to for 18 weeks or 16 weeks to this date. It's not a good recipe for success if you're the NFL, for player safety.
Well, but they don't care.
They don't.
I mean, they don't.
And the first thing, we don't have to get that because they don't have guaranteed contracts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
And what
first
they
thing
gonna
is
do
if
is,
you know
hey,
the next in line.
And what they gonna do is, hey, these TV contracts coming in, if y'all want a bigger piece of the pie, y'all gonna fucking cooperate and play on Christmas.
And
Like,
then they
it
go
just
on
is what it is.
strike, and then we don't have football for 4 months.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen if it comes down to it. If Roger's going to be that big of a bitch about it,
You know they is. They making too much money.
Play the NFL without your players.
Yeah.
Because look what happened to Tank Dell because they're playing on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, I said that last week, and I didn't, and it's good nobody came out with drastic injuries from those games, but to the point, I mean, there's only so much, and that's a big question, Spenny, because do enough guys make enough money these days to be able to step away?
Yes.
Right, because that's where they get you. If if we were talking guaranteed contracts
It'd be a different
in any
story.
other sport,
Yeah.
right, where guys have made their money, but that's where the majority on the team, 5 guys make money, and then the rest of
Right.
them.
And Chuck Brewer says never going to happen, Spenny. LOL. I mean, yeah, because sporting players don't go on strike at all in the major sports. That never happens ever.
It has.
No,
multiple
it
times.
does. It's just hard in terms of the NFL just because of how it's set up, like you said, without the guaranteed
Is it?
contracts. Not everybody can afford to go on strike in the NFL. NBA is whatever, like we've seen the NBA lockouts, we've seen MLB lockouts. You don't see it that much in football because of that reason.
I mean, but you're telling me that if they got the top quarterbacks, top wide receivers, all the real voices of the NFL, okay, those players might not go on strike. The ones who have lower contracts don't have that guaranteed money, but people don't watch the NFL for Josh Reynolds and Craig Reynolds.
I hear you.
They watch it for Patrick Mahomes,
but
Jared Goff,
you might
Devontae
have to
Brown.
get all the big dogs to
I'm telling
cooperate.
you,
and that
it's gonna
itself is hard.
be
happen.
across.
It's gonna happen when you look at what they're doing with adding extra weeks, adding extra plays, making teams play 3 games in 12 days. These guys aren't
Which
gonna
it
just
goes
let
to
this
show
happen.
you how weak the NFL Players Association
Right.
it
They've
will
been
come
bad
down
for
to
a
us.
while,
But
yeah.
what works against it when it comes to football? Guys don't have guaranteed contracts.
Everybody
Only
looking
the
out for
very
themselves.
small percentage make any money, and you're on a year to year. And it's your life expectancy in is what, 3 years maximum average? So you're going to cut that one out? I've played through 2 lockouts.
Yeah.
And lost a year and lost, the most money that I was ever going to make. It's not fun. You have to be together. But you're right, Spenny. It's when push comes to shove. But again,
you got to get everybody to be on the same page.
I don't know if
they got a union
there
for a reason.
but something's got to happen, and it's got to happen, like you said, from all the top guys, where all the money is.
Hey, and let me tell you where all the money is, and that's Caesar Sportsbook.
Who, elite?
If you were told that you could bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you can get the entire bet back, would that be crazy? Well, scan this QR code above my head for Woodward 1000. If your bet doesn't hit, you will get a bonus bet back up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 back. Just give it a shot. Minimum, just $20. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward 1000 or scan the QR code right above my head.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The bad boys from the NFL are here. Your 2024 Detroit Lions are the hardest hitting, highest flying, trickiest playing, grittiest team in the NFL.
A dominant team.
Get all your coverage of your favorite team right here in your favorite network. Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday here during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards. That'd be today, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy I trusted for my career. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. Welcome back. Boxing Day, December 26th here, Big D Energy. Darren McCarty, and yes, I'm Canadian, so I'm working overtime today. Might be the first time I've ever worked on Boxing Day.
Wow.
Spending out to do this. Joined, subbing in for Neil Rule, who is sending us pictures from the beach in Hawaii.
I know he had a great time at that 5 OT game that they had in Hawaii last night. I know he had a great time.
Serves him right, serving up 5 days, but Jesus, Justin Sawa in here.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. KG, Spenmo Racks, as always. Talking about the games yesterday, talking about the NFL, just going wherever the NFL wants, not even caring, playing games, obviously dropping on Netflix. Boys agreeing pretty much best part if you saw the halftime show, which got us all excited, at least me and Kenny, for WWE coming to Netflix and stuff like this.
Fine.
I would be excited as a WWE fan, 100%. That production was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Netflix pulled out all the stops for those games for sure. It's the NFL, man. They're the king.
Netflix is also going to continue to try to break into sports. It's only going to become more and more Netflix specials and sporting events.
Benny, RM 19 asked this question, right? A player's strike is unlikely. A lockout is more likely. And not have you think it'd be a lot? Then a difference.
I mean, same
Well,
difference.
it's
kind
not
of the same thing.
It's not, because and this is the a strike is when the players refuse to go to work.
Yeah.
A lockout is what happened to us in the NHL twice, where the owners lock the doors and don't allow you to go to work.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There's a big difference there to whatever else, because we were talking about the fact that in the NFL, without the guaranteed contracts and stuff like that, it'd have to be up to the players to say, we're not doing this more than, why would the owners change what they got
Owners
right
do not
now?
care,
They're going to try to get you to play 4 games in 20 days. Right? Like, but I don't know. Does anybody have the answer to what the straw that breaks the camel's back?
I think it's going to be if they do add another game, like because they're all talking about just make it 18 games or whatever.
Cut a
2
preseason
buys,
game.
Cut a like if they keep doing stuff like that, or if they keep doing stuff where they're giving teams 3 games on 11 days rest or 12 days rest or whatever it is, like it's gonna add up, man. These guys already don't like playing on Thursdays. Like, nobody in the NFL likes playing on Thursdays. Now you're making them play on Wednesdays and Saturdays and stuff like that. These guys are going to get sick of it eventually.
They don't like playing overseas. They got to do it anyway. I just think that the NFL, they got them by the short and curlies pretty much because the money keeps going up and they can just dangle it. Hey, you stand to make this amount of money. You stand to get this amount of pay raise by doing shit the way we want it done. So, and somebody in the chat pointed out that there hasn't been an NFL strike since 82 and 87. So it just doesn't happen in the NFL, and that's because
they got you pigeonholed.
Yeah,
Yes.
Right, dude. Like
it's tough.
Hey,
it's tough to go
here's
against
an
the machine.
analogy. You know what? Look what you guys do.
This is why you don't go against the Shield. The
No, look
Shield
at what
get all the money.
Yeah.
Like no. I think that like if you think about an analogy to a lot of us personally, and in your jobs or in different things that you do, you'd like things to change and make a change, but sometimes the way that the rules are. I'm just wondering, as we're on this subject, what is the straw that breaks the camel's back, right? Because we all can agree that why would Goodell or the league or ownership change something that is making them more money year over year? Is that right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Every year
No,
they're
you're
making
right.
100%.
No, every
right,
year.
100%.
The NHL will never change it.
So the only way, right, which goes
Or NFL,
down
excuse
to
me.
it, the corporation's not going to change, so
Yeah.
it has to change from the employees or the players.
Right.
But so much is working against them in this situation of why they haven't done it. You brought up since 1982 to 87. I just wonder, what is the straw that breaks the camel's back? Is it the fact that they are handing out all these hundreds of millions of dollar contracts to these star guys, that these star players, is that enough? That the star players come together?
It's gonna take more than that.
Right. That's
gonna
what,
take more than that.
What's it that so my question, and this isn't like a conversation and it's done.
Yeah.
This is something that I think, right, because it became so apparent that what did the NFL just do? And somebody brought up in the fact that NFL does whatever they want. Election day, they had the trade deadline.
Yep.
Right? They
Yeah.
don't care. What they just do, they just, like, lack of a better term, the Darth Vader's your ass on your day. Spenny, I'm not the biggest basketball fan, but sure as shit, I know that Christmas is for basketball.
Yeah.
It always has been, right? And what does the NFL do? So they don't care, right? They definitely don't care. I just wonder, is there something that can break their back, or is it such a juggernaut right now?
It would have to be a league-wide, all the players say, fuck this, we not doing it. That's the only way you stand a chance.
I think it's too big of a juggernaut.
If it's just the stars, then they'll just get the people that don't make the money to go play the games. And
I think it's the epitome of big business crushes little business.
Yeah.
And where they have all the power, they make all the money, and the only power that the players have is, okay, yeah, we'll do it if you give us more guaranteed money, if you make it so there are respectable rests. But even then, you're only just giving the players like a little bit, like here's the little scraps off the table, like that. Hopefully this is okay for you, because if not, we don't care. We're the NFL. Like you are the players in the league, and I hate to use this reference because I think it puts them in a bad light, but they are the dogs at the Christmas table waiting for the owners to get the steak off the plate and cut them off just a little piece and make that dog happy that's sitting there begging for a little bit more money, a little bit more rest time. And it's so sad that the NFL has continued to just go down this path to put their players in danger, to not pay them enough money, to not guarantee them the life after football. It's really a huge issue with the NFL.
And it doesn't help that the NFLPA has been one of probably the worst players unions in all of sports. I mean, the NBA has a better one. I'm sure the NHL has a better one. It's
Ours
always
is a
been
little bit
football.
better.
Yeah, football
Baseball
has had
is
the
the best.
worst players union of all
Baseball's
the
the best,
sports.
for
Baseball, 100% the
Yeah.
best. But so I guess this got me thinking to this. because Justin brought up earlier the fact that people watch the NFL for stars and stuff like this. And I'm not sure that that's overly the truth, but I'm willing to explore that. Is the straw that breaks the camel's back if sort of most of the top teams lose their top players or these money guys go down? Right? All these guys, isn't it injuries? It's not the fact that they'll get together. It's the fact that the game, right, which they try to govern, or like you mentioned, Spenny, the facilities you mentioned, like the Hank Dells, or guys losing guys because of this, that the owners would step up and go, hey, I can't stand to lose these top guys as much as that. Maybe we have to make a change.
Owners don't care.
They don't.
They're making their money.
Injuries are so unpredictable that it's like it really doesn't benefit them to do that. So it's kind of tough, man, when you look at just I just don't think they would do that because they not finna lose money at the end of the day. The NFL players are the ones that's suffering. I think COVID opened their eyes to a lot of shit on how they can operate this shit with less manpower. So if you want to go against the NFL, they'll just come up with some kind of contingency. I mean, they've done it before, so it's tough. It is.
And wouldn't you all agree, like, even if no matter what it is, next man up, you're gonna watch?
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna spend it. You're gonna watch the NFL. I think and also
sure.
the thing that's not being talked about here is what else is clamped in is the betting, the gambling aspect.
That's
where
not gonna
everybody
stop. Guess what? The sports books ain't finna stop.
No, they won't.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but also too, look at a lot of you, and I say that because I do not sports gamble, but that's because I burnt myself out of it. But the fact is that everybody that's part of the routine. What's the norm?
And it'll be too much.
What's the norm, do you think, spending on the percentage of people that bet once a week, like on Sundays or like
on sports watchers? I would say like probably 57%, over 50%.
like say it's close to 60%, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's and I'm including fantasy football. I'm
Right.
saying that has a dog in some sort of fight. What would you have said that's gone up in the last 5 years or gone up in the last 3 years since gambling?
No doubt.
Like
No, that's a whole nother element. Yeah.
Exponentially.
Before it might have been 25%, maybe 33%. Now it's gone up to almost.
Yeah, no, that's no chance.
We can agree 60%, and I still think that might be low.
If the NFL were to go on strike, that puts pressure on them from the sports books to keep the shit running.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't even think about the sports gambling element because the last time they had a strike, this shit wasn't even thought of. Now it's like this a whole different animal now. So they got to keep the show rolling regardless, like because Vegas has to make money.
Yeah, I agree that Vegas needs to make money, but I can't lie. The normal NFL consumer, when you start thinking about teams losing their best players, and if you start thinking about teams losing their quarterbacks, think about where the quarterback position is. If you lose the top 10 to 15 quarterbacks in the NFL, you're talking about guys like, Bo Nix being like a highly touted one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. That's going to hurt the stock of the NFL, especially with how good college football is. And yes, NFL is king, but that would also send people to go watch college football, I think, because when you lower the level of talent, like you see it with the USFL and the XFL, like people don't watch that because it's football. It's football, and people want to watch football, but that's a downgrade from the NFL product, and you can't get it to be the NFL product. You can't even get it to be the college product because they're so established, and they are able to have those audiences, and they are just elite at what they do.
But the brand has taken on a life of its own.
100%.
You talk about the UFL, like I don't watch the UFL, for the players or whatever. The teams in the NFL, they're all branded. The Detroit Lions, the Kansas City Chiefs. People watch for teams. They don't necessarily. They watch for players too. Don't get me wrong, but the NFL has gotten so big to where teams actually they do the work for the NFL. So as a collective, when they all come together, the NFL makes the most money. But I don't think the each team is a brand within themselves. So I don't think it would hurt them that much,
I'm going to leave it at this because Kenny brought up a good point, and we'll see. Like, Spenny, you ever thought maybe it's Vegas?
Yeah.
That is the one that eventually says to Roger, because, it's got to be one of your boys in the cahoots going, hey, we might want to change this a little bit because this is not benefiting us as much as it used to. You just never know, because I don't. that would be interesting to see where it is. Also, what's interesting.
Wait, hold on.
to come
Ryan
back
Reaction
from
dropped
break,
a great stat on the gambling thing.
Yeah.
Looked it up. Estimated 25 to 30% of all sports viewers gamble on a weekly basis. So shout out to Ryan Reaction for the $4.99 super
NFL is
stat as well.
probably
It's higher for
than
the
that
NFL.
specifically.
I gotta say
Probably,
double.
Yeah.
I mean, most people what do you think? If there's 100 people watching the game, 90 of them got to bet.
Yeah, probably.
Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, damn
That's
near.
fair.
Yeah.
Or
At least 75.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'm a little aggressive.
Shield, man.
Speaking about aggressive, how aggressive we got to be this week? Time to break it down. Monday Night Football. Yes, your Detroit Lions going into San Francisco to avenge last year's NFC Championship loss. What do we expect? What's coming out? Anybody off the IR? What do we have to expect? Keys to this when we come back. But first, who's telling me about Sabbath Coffee?
Sabbath Coffee Roasters, the best coffee you can get. Just wake up and enjoy fresh coffee delivered right to your door. Locally sourced specialty coffee dropped off at your doorstep, courtesy of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Go to SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com. Use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first order. Sabbath Coffee Roasters. They're doing coffee better than anyone. And like I said, Michigan company, support local. Sabbath Coffee Roasters.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports wearables? Well, it's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at Woodward Sports and click the shop tab. Hoodies, tees, and hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at WoodwardSports.com and click shop.
Welcome back, Big D Energy, here on a Boxing Day. Darren McCarty, Justin in for Neil. When's Neil back? Next week?
He should be back
Tomorrow.
next week, yeah.
Tomorrow?
He said he was going to try to be here on Friday, but guaranteed on Monday.
Let's say next week. Say next week, and then anything early is a surprise.
Yep.
Very
From the
valid.
pictures he sent back, I wouldn't be coming in anytime soon. KG, Spenmo Racks. I see in the chat thread, because Justin and I are up here, Red Wing talk. We're gonna talk about the Red Wings where they deserve to be talked in the cellar at the end of the show. So if I feel up to it, maybe I'll give them the last segment. But they don't deserve shit right now. So that's
Total
what I
agreement.
thought about Monday's
I got
performance,
a-
along with everything else. Anyways, but what we are going to talk about right now, keys, boys. Keys to win in the San Francisco game. And I think the writing's on the wall, the attitude, stuff like this. This game is bigger than just playing the San Francisco 49ers and what you have to do that they're in the way of winning this NFC North. This is a payback game, boys. And I look for a similar game plan as what we had against Dallas.
100%.
So that payback earlier in the year. Anybody think that that's the way it's going to go down?
I am in complete agreement with you, D-Mac. I think we are going to come out with a fury. I think Ben Johnson's going to pull out the bag. He's going to want to hang 40 on San Fran. They're going to want to bury San Fran. They're going to want to say, hey, your Super Bowl window was cute. You didn't capitalize on it. So here, let's bury you by 30 points, send you to the gutter, send you to the bottom 15 of the draft, and you can enjoy being in the NFL basement while the Lions go do what you were supposed to do for the last 3 years, and we go win the Super Bowl, and we own the NFC for the next 5 years.
Isn't it You know, it's the NFL, right? It's where these windows are, and it's funny. Isn't San Francisco is sort of not a template, but they've gone through a lot of things in the last few years that we're going through now, trying to find a way to win with injuries. Right now, Brock Purdy. Now, where do you guys stand on Brock Purdy as a quarterback?
I'm not a Brock Purdy fan. I think he is a system merchant. I think that with his O-line falling apart, with his weapons not having a great year as well, I think it's the ultimate storm to prove that he is not the top 10 quarterback that people were putting him out to be. And he gets a lot of comparison to Jared Goff, and I think that's ridiculous. I think that Jared Goff does everything that Brock Purdy does, except the mobility, at a better and at a more elite stature than what Brock Purdy does. The accuracy, the decision making, the ability to distribute to your receivers, I think all those things are Jared Goff by a mile over Brock Purdy.
Spanny?
Yeah, I agree. I think Brock Purdy's overrated for what he is. I think he had a good run, you know, when nobody knew who he was, and the mobility is there for sure, but he is put in a good system with a lot of weapons out there. And they kind of make him look better than he is. I'd like to see. He's not terrible by any means. He's like a mid-level quarterback. He's got a good arm. He's got some mobility. You know, he's not awful. Like he's a starter in this league, but I wouldn't pay him a huge contract.
Is he more of a guy that, like Justin said, you see like the fall and I guess maybe the word is deterioration of his offensive line, and it's more so with age than it is with injuries and stuff like this. But is this something that, like, without Christian McCaffrey and this stuff, he's the pivotal part of this offense? I know they still got Debo and stuff like this, and they still, you know, they're still got a Bosa on the other side. So I mean, like what do we expect? So, you know, I'd asked before the break, sort of keys to this game. We touched on Brock Purdy. He's feasible. So if you give him time and you let him make good decisions and stuff like that, like, we could be in trouble. But is this a game where you need to get pressure on him? Is this a game, you know, what are the keys to this game, Justin?
I think it's just you got to sit back in zone. You got to get a couple pressures. I don't think we're going to get a ton of pressure. You haven't seen it from this Lions D-line, unfortunately. But I do expect, you know, the Brian Branches, the Kirby Josephs to be opportune with when they make a play, and they're going to force some turnovers, and that's how this defense needs to live. Brock Purdy is a ability to just overthrow some throws. His footwork will be sloppy. He won't be clean, and that's your opportunity where you see Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch make a play. On the flip side of the ball, what I really want to see is us neutralize Nick Bosa. I want to see Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell take him out of the game. I hate hearing the Taylor Decker's washed accusations. They're unjust. He has played a couple bad games this season. I understand that. But I would love nothing more than the Taylor Decker to show his quality and just block his off against Nick Bosa this weekend.
Well, I think it goes to the whole offensive line and whether Glasgow's back or you know, Mahogany showed, you know, then what better test than that. But Justin brought up a word, gentlemen, that I don't think really goes to this defense. First thing he said is we play zone. We play man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, playing man against Brock Purdy, does that scare you? Or to the fact,
Absolutely
what I
not.
like that Justin said, what's the ineptitude of Brock Purdy? The overthrow, right? Mm-hmm. Who's better in the league than picking off overthrows than our secondary?
Yeah, and with Carlton Davis out, they've been playing more zone for sure because that's, you know, their man corner out there. We'll see what he needs to do or what Aaron Glenn wants to scheme up. This is a depleted offense. Like, I know it's crazy to say that as a Lions fan, that, like,
right,
we're healthier than the 49ers, but we kind of are when you look at their offense. Ayuk's out. Obviously, CMC's out. Mm-hmm. Trent Williams is out. Like that. Those are their biggest pieces on offense. And Debo's not that good.
Yeah.
Here's my question.
As a receiver.
Yeah, here's my question. Going into this game this year in San Francisco, even with your team, with the injuries you have, compared to last year in the NFC Championship game.
It's not even close.
Where, right?
It's not even close.
Not even
this
on
defense,
the radar. If you're worried about the game last year, if I would say 8 this year, without any disrespect, is a 2. And am I more on point than that, or is that disrespectful? And when that happens, does that worry you? Does that worry you guys when you feel that way? Or does it not because of the team that you have representing you?
I personally feel like it's a 5 this year because you still got Kyle Shanahan over there. You got to give him some respect. And Brock Purdy can make plays, but he's missing a lot of his crucial weapons. So kind of to Justin's point, I think they will play some zone or they'll disguise some zone coverages within man coverage. But you can just play man with the people that you have and be okay because we actually have a secondary that can cover receivers, and we didn't have that last year. You know, it didn't matter who it was. Like, they would be able to get off. Of course, your pass rush isn't the same, and you're going to have to find ways to make Brock Purdy uncomfortable and get home. But ultimately, I feel like the secondary, you're going to have to lean on that secondary to go out there and just outright shut down whatever receiver they decide to put out there.
Yeah, you know, they still got Juwan Jennings. He's a good receiver.
Yeah,
Ricky Pearsall has shown some flashes. And Deebo Samuel had one good year in the NFL. But, like, you don't really expect them.
The spinny shade.
No. Just careful on all the Deebo, like, because I don't need him shoving it up our ass.
No, I'm not worried about Deebo Samuel.
Okay.
I'm not worried about. He's fat, he's out of shape, and he's not having a good year. Like
the Niners are going down the tubes.
Yeah, I fully expect the Lions to go out there and dominate the 49ers. My level of concern in this game is a -1. Like, they're gonna go out there, they're gonna take care of business. This is a revenge game. This team is petty. They're gonna go out there and they're gonna punch them in the mouth, and they're gonna play zone. They're gonna play a lot of zone. They play a lot of zone without Carlton Davis. You know, with Carlton Davis,
they go disguise looks though.
Yeah, and I expect Brock Purdy to throw an interception this game too.
Kirby's brought up such a great point, Spenny. I think that gets overlooked. You know what goes along with as gritty as they are, is as petty as they are.
Yep.
In a positive way, which they don't forget. They forgive, don't forget. But petty is, if grit is what runs this team, petty's right there, right beside it, because they all are. And you have to have a pettiness in professional sports as an athlete, as an organization, to be successful. And you do not let anything, you remember all the smallest things. You're going into San Francisco this weekend, and you're going to remember every shitty thing, not just what happened on the field, but where their gross locker room and this and that and this spot and change and whatever like that. Petty to a core, and you know what? I love it.
Damn right.
You know what else I love?
What?
Get my hair cut.
Oh.
Every now and then. It's about time for a color, but we'll see. You know where I'm going. I'm walking next door. You can too. Walk to any Lady Jane's. Haircuts for men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax. Enjoy a $20 haircut special, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, hot towel treatment from one of the talented stylists. Take advantage of the $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Second Best Bar, your place for game days in Detroit. If you ever need a place to pregame for Lions, Pistons, Red Wings, it's all there. Second Best Bar is the spot to do it. We have our Woodward Sports pregame show there. Make sure you hit up Telemardu Irish Whiskey as well. That is 42 Watson Street. Every Lions home game day for the Woodward Sports pregame show.
Big D Energy here. on a Boxing Day, December 26th. Somebody in the chat thread said, D-Mac, you're Canadian, explain Boxing Day. Okay, so this is the one day a year. It's like the Purge, sort of, like in the States, but it's Canada, so we don't have guns or anything. But you're allowed to go knock on one of your neighbor's doors and drag their ass out into the snow and have a full-out tilly right in the snow, and you just have it there, and then that's the one day a year that you and your neighbor can just slug it out. Nobody gets in trouble, everything else.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh,
but
damn.
I was so
That's
confused. I
fucking
was
awesome,
like, what?
right?
Well, technically, Spenny, off the books.
Yeah.
Maybe that,
Unwritten
allegedly, maybe that might go on. No, Boxing Day is, yes, it's a holiday in Canada and stuff, adopted, obviously, like everything else from the Commonwealth in England. It's the today, just like all you Americans do. You take your boxes and you put them to the curb for the refuse.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just like a day after Christmas to enjoy your presents and throw all your trash out. That's it. But mine sounds better, doesn't it?
That does
It
sound
does sound
better.
better. I will say.
Free Tillies. So if that neighbor right across the fence, right? Just,
Yeah.
You just tell him, just wait till Boxing Day, bro.
Still has your pliers, never gave them back.
Boxing Day. Mm-hmm. You know, you get an invitation to Boxing Day.
Right. Square up.
You never know.
I'll take.
There it is. So
I don't know if you guys saw this, but a couple days ago, Colin Cowherd put out his power rankings
Yeah,
for the
sorry.
NFL, and the Detroit Lions were 5th behind the Green Bay Packers. His top 5 in the NFL is Kansas City, Philadelphia, Buffalo, Green Bay, and then Detroit.
When will you learn,
hold on,
old man?
Hold on.
Sorry.
First, you can go off. I mean, I'll let you go off.
No, I just wanted to drop that SpongeBob line.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? And this happens all the time. The first thing you have to do is, do I respect this person, and where do I put their opinion, right? And some people, their opinion on certain things, you really like, but their opinion on other things doesn't, right, is way off. In this case, right, and I'm not saying I don't know. It'd have to be specific where me personally, when I use Colin Cowherd's information, I take it for what it is.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of it might be agenda driven or whatever else. And a lot of times too, if you want to see why people are that way, is it one of these things? With new information, did they change their opinion? Which is one way. Or in this business, little secret, what is the narrative that they've spun? Because you know what? Most of these times with these guys that are making a bazillion dollars and that people look to for their prognostications or whatever, they have their own narrative because they pick Green Bay to win the North or to win whatever like that. They have to stick to the narrative that they preached a year ago. If you dig deep into something like this, why do people die on the hill? Now, I am not that as big of a Colin Cowherd fan to know who he picked for the Super Bowl or whatever like this.
He loves Jordan Love.
But so there it is, right there. Where's the narrative, right? And from my history is that he's never been a golf guy, right? That doesn't believe in the damn Campbell Schnickery, right? Doesn't like the old school, but that's his opinion. So you look and see, Spenny, that's a great explanation, right? Where do this certain person's biases? And it's not a bad thing. It's just so that you can bounce your opinion off them to see where you stand.
Right.
Now, Spenny, can you put that list back up there?
Yeah.
Because before we blow a gasket on this list, right? You'd move Detroit to 1 or 2, right?
I dropped the Eagles down. I would drop Green Bay down below Detroit.
Was this before or after they lost to the Commanders?
This was after.
See, like, how you don't even know if Jalen Hurts is going to be playing. How can you have them at 2?
I would go, and this is out of championship respect and record and everything else. KC, Detroit, Buffalo, and then who do you find? Who's better, Philly or Green Bay? Green Bay better without Jalen Hurts.
I'd put Minnesota over Green Bay too.
I would put Minnesota.
They already beat them.
Minnesota deserves the respect. So thank you, Spenny, because look at that list again. One more time, right? Forget about where we're at.
I'd put Baltimore over Green Bay.
That's what I'm saying. There's more disrespect. Isn't that disrespectful to Baltimore after what they just did to Texas yesterday? Also,
And the run that they're on, the run that they're on is impeccable.
So put it in perspective, right? And also too, if somebody like this is great motivation also, because say for example, and I don't know this, but I'm going to use this as an example. Say Coach Campbell, right? And there's always people that, as professionals, like in the media, that you like or you don't, or their opinion or whatever. If there's some sort of something with Colin Cowherd, that's bullet board material.
Right.
Just so that coaches, just because you just sit there and go, the disrespect. Okay, now how does it work to our advantage? So yes, Spenny, but there's more than us getting disrespected. And again, that's his opinion.
You're right. I mean,
and where does it put? So I hope that was like just a little bit of a lesson. But Jesus, sorry to interrupt you, but what did you have to say about Colin Cowherd's list?
I mean, just the fact that, I mean, you took the air out of the tires. I mean, the fact that he just thinks that this is a list that has any type of composition to it is utterly ridiculous. And I think he's just lying out of his teeth. He has his biases towards players that he likes in particular and teams he likes in particular, and is unwilling to watch the games play out week to week. And he just has his predetermined biases. He's going to keep going down that road, and you see it. I mean, he likes Jordan Love. They're above the Lions. I'm sure he likes Josh Allen to win the MVP. That's why they're above Lamar. I mean, I think it's that simple.
And I shoot him the slightest amount of bail because there's worse sports personalities you can get your info from than Colin Cowherd. But at the same time, he's one of those, he follows trends a lot because he's never openly said anything super disparaging about the Lions. At times, he supported the Lions, but overall, like Spinny said, he does have an affinity for Jordan Love. I just don't see how you put a team above us that we've swept during the regular season. It just makes no sense to me. They've also struggled with the Vikings. And there's just it's a lot of examples of teams that should be higher on this list, not just the Lions, but it's a lot of teams that should be higher on this list. But like you said, it's his opinion. It is what it is. If the boys use it for bulletin board material, they do. But it's Colin Cowherd. He's part of the media circus. It is what it is to me.
You know, Wheezy D313.
That's crazy. I just read that.
Right, but it makes sense. Yeah, this is all holding on to narratives. You know,
Let's talk about that second part.
No, what about nobody besides the ball knowers knew Darnold was better than Love? Now people just holding on to the dear life.
See, I think that's a very debate has some cliche to it.
What Darnold's done in Minnesota cannot be denied.
No, it cannot be.
Dude, like under that system, to who else? Like, do you want to say, because I challenge you to, like, he's done what he's done and put it up, who else could have stepped in also, like, that you put at Sam Darnold's level?
I just think
I agree, quarterback to quarterback, I take Jordan Love, but you can't disparage Sam Darnold in that offense.
No, you can't. And, like, they're talking about whether or not they need to extend him, bring him back for another year. They don't know about if JJ's going to be ready. And I think those are all debates that have to have some pull to them because of the fact that they are valid. I mean, 13-2 on the heels of the Lions for the division. Sam Darnold's proved that he can distribute the ball where it needs to be distributed. He can win them games. I mean, there is a lot of validity to that debate, whether or not they should re-sign him for another year and let JJ sit behind him again. Really interesting situation.
We just haven't seen this from Sam Darnold until this year, so we don't know whether it's just the system that he's in, whether it's him. You know, like that's the only thing with the Sam Darnold thing, and we'll find out in the playoffs because that's where it's really going to be.
I think it's a little bit of both. Like he's obviously, you know, he's got the arm talent, he's got the ability because he was such, you know, he's a third pick in the draft.
Yeah,
so
true.
The intangibles were there, and he was, you know, drafted to the Jets. And we know how that works. But
he had another two franchises.
Yeah, but he never got a starting gig, really. I mean, he was a backup in third string in San Francisco, and he was a backup in Carolina. And when he got some reins in Carolina, it made some plays. But it definitely helps having Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Like that's,
no doubt.
You can't take that away from
coaching and confidence and system and we live it right here. I mean, for lack of, we got our guys better than Sam Darnold, but we've Jared Goff, Sam Darnold-esque, is he not? Was he not? Like now Sam Darnold's
No,
trying
he's
to
having
become.
a great year, yeah.
No, but Sam Darnold's ceiling is Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we've
They're having pretty
experienced it,
similar years.
and look at all the articles earlier in this season to whatever else where Jared Goff's worked through it, but it's belief of your coach, belief of your coordinator, stuff like this, how to get lockstep. So I think Spenny, he had to have the ability, but you got to be in the right position.
Yeah.
Like you got to get in the right situation.
For sure.
I think more times than not, and we're here at Woodward Sports, and we work with somebody who I believe got royally screwed out of where he got drafted in Braylon Edwards to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Look at
Right?
Baker.
A lot of time, there it is.
Baker.
So a lot of times it's and that's where you find great organization systems or great coaching. Like to me, Kevin O'Connell and what he's done with the Minnesota Vikings is, he needs the hats off to him.
He's one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Still gonna kick your ass, and I'd like his interviews, and I'd like him, and he's one of the guys you see. Yeah, I'd like to play for him. The relationship he has with his players, but we're gonna beat his ass. Speaking about beating ass, where do you go to work out to get ready to beat some ass?
You go to Planet Fitness.
You know what that is?
What?
You ever been to one?
Yeah, I've been to a couple Planet Fitness.
You know what that is. I thought you were like Wayne Gretzky.
I belong there.
I thought you were like
Fine.
Wayne Gretzky. You said
I
you never
belong-
seen a barbell score a goal.
I belong there in high school. But fitness that fits your budget, no matter where you are, there's Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 locations in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff with a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the Black Card and enjoy the use of amenities such as unlimited uses of the Black Card Spa, featuring hydro massages, massage chairs, total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your Planet Fitness or www.planetfitness.com.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Woodward Sports fans, whether you're hitting the game or just chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of rec cannabis products, and we got 27 locations across the state, repping Michigan in a big way. 9 locations right here in Metro Detroit, so there's always one nearby. And if you're in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, get ready. New stores are coming your way soon. Make sure you pick up that DMAC pack today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
1800 Tequila is the official tequila of the live watch party and post-game show here at Woodward Sports. They're also a proud partner of the Detroit Lions. You can see they got the cool Lions themed bottles right there. You can pick those up in store right now. 1800 Tequila, the smoothest tasted tequila, and please drink responsibly.
Big D Energy Boxing Day here. Thursday. I was just telling the boys, December 26th. But I said, did anybody else feel like Monday?
Yeah, it does.
Does
And
feel
then
like a
Justin
Monday.
started bitching because I guess his sister was kicking his ass in Nintendo 64 last night till like midnight. Isn't that what you just said?
No.
Yeah, I played Nintendo 64. They probably got like the Wii 4.
Right,
I got
the
that new
Wii
shit.
Wait. Is there a Wii 4
They
now?
got the Switch 2.
PS91?
No, I have a Nintendo Switch, and we were going at it in Smash Bros last night. It was a
Did you
good
get
time.
smashed?
You do not want to work in Smash Bros. Justin, trust me.
Yeah. Is the Switch the little things that you
We were
got?
playing as a team.
You
Yeah,
can
the little
like-
controllers, yeah.
You can technically, like, between shows or before, like, smash each
You
other
can
up.
play 8-man Smash games. and
8
then they went-
smashers?
Oh, yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that's
We do
your
we do
game that you're
tournaments all the
drinking
time,
with your
yeah.
buddies and stuff.
Yep.
pregame.
I'm a Samus man.
Oh, Samus, that's cheating.
Samus, it's valid.
Samus
I'm a big Link guy.
Samus been good in all the Super Smash
Oh
Bros.
yeah,
That's a little bit of cheating.
I've
bro.
been using her since the Nintendo 64, man. I gotta
right.
stay true to my girl.
I feel
There you go.
Hey, that's loyalty right there.
I was always a NAS guy myself. But.
Hell yeah.
Top of the hour nerd off only here. I
Right.
love it. Love the nerds. Anyways,
got
I
nowhere
was
else to
talking
go.
about Kevin O'Connell right before the coach of Minnesota and that fine job he's done. But you know what? No one's done a finer job than our guy Dan Campbell here in Detroit. And I see on the sheet here, Spenny, I thought it'd be a great way to bring it up, talk about the best coaches in the league. But is Dan Campbell coach of the year, or is it something that you think that he's more going to get snubbed on, or is it how they finish out?
As of right now, Kevin O'Connell is the betting favorite.
Yeah, I do think he is unfortunately going to get screwed at the end of the day.
So do you think that even if Detroit wins the North and whatever else, and even on that final day, with as much recency bias, that the voting will happen and Dan Campbell won't win Coach of the Year at 16-1 with home field?
I think that he should win it. He deserves to win it. But in terms of the voters, I think they're going to look at this Vikings team and they're going to see a quarterback who hasn't succeeded in the NFL yet. And they're going to see a coach that turned him into a Pro Bowler, one of the top 10 quarterbacks of the league this year. And that's hard to argue. They're going to have one less. They're going to have one less loss than us because they're going to lose to us at the end of the year.
D-bag,
they're going to lose this weekend.
D-bag, like, what?
And like, that's great, dude. We got a coach that did it with more of a team on the IR and not just a team on the IR. We're not just talking about throwing dudes. We're talking about your legit best player. You don't think that
I think it matters. I think they're rebuilt.
Does the injuries to the Detroit Lions supersede? Now, I'll default to you that if Detroit lost that last game and lost home field and whatever, then I will give it to, because I believe that he would then deserve it if, for the same record, that they finished with one loss.
No, that's what it's going to come down to, that Week 18 game. Whoever wins that game most likely will be Coach of the Year.
I don't think it does.
You don't think it does?
No. I think that Sam Darnold,
You think that the Sam Darnold resurrection project is more
to the casual NFL fan, 100%.
It's closer than I think it is.
But
I think just talking
the national media are trying to ride the narrative of the Lions' injuries, pretty much saying that because we have so many injuries, they don't feel we're a Super Bowl favorite at this point anymore. So if the Lions were to sew up the number 1 seed, sew up the NFC North on that last game of the year with all the injuries that they've had, a record number of injuries this year in terms of like all the other NFL franchises, I don't see how you don't give it to Dan Campbell. And that's no disrespect to what the Vikings have done. Their expectations for this year were to be at the bottom of the NFC North. I remember everybody's preseason rankings, and a lot of people had the Bears over the Vikings. He did it with Sam Darnold. They got it done, but he's had a complement of his parts pretty much the whole season, and the Lions have not. They've been able to overcome adversity. I think that does matter in terms of Coach of the Year. It should anyway. It should.
So, and I agree with the adversity point, but where I kind of falter is because of, like what you said, the expectations. It was supposedly like a rebuilding year, waiting for J.J. McCarthy. They bring in Sam Darnold, and they are 13-2.
Yeah, but we've seen this shit
They have
before.
won. They might have a last place schedule, but the voters don't think about that type of stuff.
He did
they
the same
think
thing
about
with Kirk Cousins. We've seen it before.
I agree, but it is so impressive that he was able. He revitalized Sam Darnold's career, where he is going to command $30 million at the minimum.
I hear you.
In the free agency market. Like there are so many. Like the injuries are one thing, but the Lions were a Super Bowl favorite, and even with the injuries, have continued to still be the favorite to win the NFC.
True, but we not
and
just
I think
talking.
that all plays a factor. I really do. I want nothing more than for Dan Campbell to win Coach of the Year, straight up.
Yeah.
But I just think that Kevin O'Connell, with this rebuilding Minnesota team, this is what all the Vikings fans want to say when they're like, oh, Sam Darnold fucking around in a rebuild year is just as good as the Lions, 13-2. It's not, but I see how much harder it could have been for Kevin O'Connell it's just as hard as for Dan Campbell, but I don't think the media is going to be able to cop out with injuries. I think that's not enough to get him to win, just the injuries alone.
I could see if they was injuries to scrubs, though. We lost literally like our
I
star
think that-
players on defense.
And you're going to say, and it's going to be closer than you think, but to the point of what is the coach of the year? Do they more of where you were predicted and what you got out of what you did? So with that formula, I can understand because they had more margin of difficulty. They did the triple Lundy off the top with more difficulty points to where they came from to what our expectations were, because next man up in the NFL, I guess, isn't an excuse.
Well, if Minnesota,
you get 1 point,
it's
you
an
get
excuse
1
when it's
point or 2
23
points
fucking
for that.
injuries.
You get 5 for those.
And if Minnesota loses to Green Bay this weekend, then it's over. Yes, I will. That doesn't matter. But if even if the last game of the season means anything, I do think that it will go to Kevin O'Connell. Unfortunately, I don't want to believe it. I don't want to say it, but I mean, he's the betting favorite for a reason. And do the sports books really think that the Vikings are to come in here on New Year's Day and beat the Lions? That's crazy. I don't think that's going to happen. And the sports books know it's going to happen, and they're already having Kevin O'Connell this big of a favorite. It tells you something. I just to me. Tells me something. I think it's going to be Kevin O'Connell.
Spenny, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's whoever wins the NFC North. You look at it, and I think the Lions, like, definitely had a much better projection than the Vikings going into this year, but you can't not put the injuries as a factor of it. And it is saying, like, oh, but they're still considered to be a Super Bowl favorite. That's even more of a testament to what Dan Campbell has been doing to navigate through those injuries and continue to be a Super Bowl favorite and continue to win against the upper echelon of teams in the NFL. So, I think it's going to come down to whoever wins the North. I truly do.
Week 18, baby.
Seems pretty popular in the chat. Copacetic Sushi, Sam Darnold greater than Sam Reynolds. Crazy Clown, I'm not scared of Green Bay or the Vikings.
I'm not scared of him either.
Yeah, like if the Vikings were to beat us Week 18, there is no way. Like I'd throw a fucking fit if the NFL still gave it to Kevin O'Connell.
You know, Skygox 722. Generally, Coach of the Year is the one that leads the team to the biggest improvement. So, you know, if that's the case, you are always expected to do it. I just think that, like, the way that we've done it, and I think that maybe this is where we got recency bias, obviously, like on a microscope to how tough it's been and what we fought through.
Yeah.
And nationally, who's voting really doesn't see it as much. They look at it
right.
Oh,
they're box score
to what you
checkers.
said, to the fact that they're doing it with Sam Darnold, and then, I thought this team was supposed to finish last. Anytime a team that's supposed to finish last finished first, we saw that. Look at Cleveland.
That'd be a damn shame, though, because, I mean, you won more games than you did last year. You did it with more adversity this year. That's a travesty if they don't give it to him this year, because if he don't get it this year, he'll probably never get it. Let's just be real about it. So,
No,
but like you said, D-Mac, that is the formula. Normally, it's the team that surprises you the most that gets the Coach of the Year, which is why Kevin Stefanski got 2 of them motherfuckers. Like, it is what it is.
But what does it really mean?
It don't mean nothing.
Nothing.
You know, at the end of the day, it's more of the Madden curse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it more of the cover of the Madden?
Yeah.
You know, like, look at...
Yeah, Dan Campbell doesn't care about Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
No. He's my Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Every year, because that's what you're going to deal with. But real quick, because I think Green Bay is going to beat Minnesota this weekend. Anybody else have that? Have confidence in that, or
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. Everything is just setting up to where it looked like that last game of the year is going to mean everything for the
so
North
you're
and
telling me
everything else.
Vegas and then the powers that be. You already got the script?
Yeah, it's the
got the
NFL
NFL
script. It's the NFL script. The Packers beat up on the fucking Saints. I can't take no stock out of that game, man. They struggled with the Packers.
on Jordan Love, though.
Yeah, I hear you, but they struggled with the Packers. I mean, the Vikings the first time they played. I can't see them actually beating them. I think it's the last game of the year. Lions got to handle their business.
Is Jair Alexander playing?
I don't know.
If Jair plays, I would give him a pretty good chance, but I don't know. There's something about the Vikings this year. It's just I pick against them all the time, and they just screw me. Like, anytime I think that they're playing a good enough team to beat them, they just win. And so they're going to keep winning until they play the Lions, and the Lions are going to put them in their place. Simple.
You know what? There's a really good question here, because we're going to talk I'm going to talk some basketball here, because you know what? One of the teams that deserves to be talked about by the way that their effort and what they've done on here, and we've all got to it as far as Cade Cunningham. I think that last week, if you haven't seen, or Tuesday's show, to see about like what Cade means to this team. But real questions, and Spenny, a question I did not think that we would be asking this year. Yeah. But you know what? It is an imperative to it about being buyers or sellers at the deadline, and legitimately this being legitimate, that you could improve this team to go somewhere even further with already what you have. But first, what are you guys getting ready? Within this new drink that you can't be without, or something like this?
You mean Taller, the local laundry?
Oh, isn't that the one I'm hearing about?
Or Tangerine Space Machine?
The Tangerine thing that, like, all you guys are... Is that what it is?
Justin told us
How
about
good is
Taller.
it?
Oh, the Tangerine Space Machine is the best beer in the game. Yes, they do. New Holland Tangerine Space Machine is the easy drinking IPA with out-of-this-world flavor, D-Mac. Smooth and juicy with a refreshing crushability. Take your taste buds to the moon with the Tangerine Space Machine. Grab yourself a can of this intergalactic hazy goodness, the official beer of outer space, brewed by New Holland Brewing Company in Holland, Michigan. Buy local.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Oh my God! Breaking news, but first, if you ready, you're overdue for a new car. Beat the holiday rush to get an amazing deal from Les Stanford Chevrolet. That's how important it is. I'm just speed through the screen right now. Blazer EV 2LT with all-wheel drive is only on $149 a month. Check out the Equinox EV LT for only $169 per month. Get to Les Stanford today, or click on the QR code on the screen and check out our massive inventory. Don't forget, Les Stanford has Cadillac, Buick, GMC as well. Les Stanford and Dearborn and Ferndale. LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive. Vroom, vroom. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news.
We are victorious!
Couldn't be better right now. We're going to change speeds for all of you out there. Santa came a little late. I guess it's a Canadian Boxing Day present.
It's Black
for all
Santa,
of you.
baby.
Derek Lalonde no longer.
Black Santa
Your
has delivered
coach
this
of the
to you.
Detroit Red Wings, he is out.
Woo!
And am I reading this correctly? Todd McClellan.
Yes.
Todd McClellan, another T-Mac. Let me just tell you, won a cup with him. He was our assistant coach in 2008. He's coached in the NHL with San Jose. He's been around. I think he was in LA for a bit. Dude, could not be a better guy for the job as far as both tell you what you need to hear, but not be bullshit with you. So man, I can't even see straight right now. I'm so excited.
I can't either.
But as far as is this somebody that could come in that is respected, that will be heard, that is no nonsense, that will shake this thing up and get this thing going? I do believe it is. I do believe there's pedigree there. He was part of Babcock's staff. He left the year after we won the cup. Here, I'll give you behind the scenes like I can. So when I made my comeback in 2008, and made the roster and stuff like this. And I'll tell you, even though I played 17 games, the whole point was to be in the locker room, to be in practice, to warm up Ozzy. So it would be myself, Jim Bedard, the goalie coach, and Todd McClellan, the assistant coach, every day before practice or pregame skate or whatever, and we'd be the ones that would be warming up Ozzy, warming up the goalies, doing extra stuff, even to the extra players at the end of the day until you're in the lineup. Just when you really get to know, somebody by spending those extra times together, like this. And I could not speak more glowingly as a human being of what Todd McClellan is, how excited I am now, because hopefully the spark, the energy, whatever it is that we're looking for, he can provide. He is one of these no nonsense. He's not as, should I say, gruff as a Dan Campbell, but you will get that same respect and play for you like he will. He's a man's man, old school, not going to bullshit. So been around some of the best coaches and learned a lot from him. So I couldn't be happier. Congratulations, Tom McClellan, new head coach of the Detroit Red Wings. Now listen, for the Derek Lalonde and stuff like this, the fact as the coach it didn't work out doesn't change him as a great human being. I wish him extreme success in whatever he does. And 100%. I'm sure we've seen him down the road. Sometimes you're not in life, you are not, don't find it, the timing's not right. So does this shut all you mother scratchers up about?
I see so much trust the
hashtag Wiser playing, right?
People back on.
We back on.
Still
they
on
back
track
on
now. We got to get back to winning and stuff like this. But to me, this is part of decisions and tough decisions being made and things like this, and not hastily being made. But I'm excited to see, does this allow some of the younger guys opportunity, or what does it do? So to me, again, bumpy ride, yes, but this is the first. I got to text a few people.
Before we let Justin cook on
this is the start of at least
Smitty, get your shit off.
Something
you've been
new
at the forefront of this. Get your shit off first.
Yeah, I'm going to get my shit off. I got my own show. I'm going to let Justin get his show.
All right.
But first, I want to read the official statement from the Detroit Red Wings. It says, the Detroit Red Wings Executive Vice President and General Manager Steve Yzerman today announced that the team has signed Todd McClellan as the 29th head coach in franchise history and signed him to a multi-year contract. Additionally, the Red Wings have hired Trent Yawney? Trent Yawney, former
as an
assistant coach.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably his right-hand man, and that would make sense. Played against him in Chicago Blackhawks, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well respected, so.
Newsy's gone.
Yeah, well, Justin, Spinny allowing you the floor.
All right. Well, I mean, I love it. There was a couple things that D-Mac said that I'm going to touch on and put a little more detail into. The first thing I loved hearing is he's no nonsense. You can tell this team has issues with their discipline, with their effort. This will fix that. You will see a better PK. You will see a better defensive zone just purely off the effort of a coach holding these guys accountable. Second, it seems like he will be very good when it comes to the youth. And the multi-year contract is what you need when you have the influx of youth that are on their way. There will be youth coming up for the rest of the season. There'll be youth who will come up next year and the year after. You need someone who is committed to the youth and to getting everything out of these players. And with everything that D-Mac just said, I have no doubt that he will be able to do that. I am so excited to see this team actually live up to their potential. And Steve Yzerman, thank you. You have completely restored my faith in you. I wavered for a second. I will not lie. You made me waver with the elongated firing of Lalonde and the fact that he wasn't gone months ago. That's fine. I'm willing to give you that leeway because you are Steve Yzerman.
I want to pump the brakes right there. This doesn't fully restore my faith in Steve Yzerman at all. I think Steve Yzerman still has a lot to answer for with the free agent signings and the way he's built this team. I like the draft. We already talked about that, but his free agent signings outside of Alex DeBrincat have been putrid. But yes, this needed to happen. There was writing on the wall. Get out of here, Newsy. You're no longer the coach of my team, and I'm happy. Like D-Mac said, sure, he's a nice guy. Sure, he's a good human. I don't give a shit. He was a terrible coach. He did not have these guys perform to go. These guys look lazy. They look unenthused. Now you bring in McClellan. Like Justin said, no nonsense. He's going to have them both bolting down, both on both special teams, not just the PK. Guys like Tarasenko, guys like Patrick Kane, guys like Sherratt, they're going to respect and honor McClellan's opinion a lot more than they would Derek Lalonde. So it's going to be huge for him to get the most out of these veterans, like Comfort, like Kopp, like Tarasenko. Get the most out of these guys that he can. Like I said, they're going to listen to McClellan a lot more than they would listen to Derek Lalonde. No offense to him, but this is a guy that's got a track record. I'm excited for it. Fuck Newsy. I'm sorry. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it anymore this year. No, fuck him as a coach, not as a human. But I'm glad he's gone. Hopefully the Wings will go out there and they'll make some things happen.
And I'm not saying Yzerman doesn't have questions to answer in terms of his free agent signings. That has to improve, and I would sure hope it does this season, because this offseason will be the most important offseason possibly of his tenure here, because of the fact where
100%
that most of your youth is ready, and you now just need to insulate them and put in the right pieces for this team to succeed. And what I ultimately, but he has my faith.
Yeah.
The clean cut. The drafting has been elite. I see the prospects down there. They all look like they have a part to play, at least enough to fill a full roster with vets. I would just love for Yzerman to come out and take a swing on someone who he actually doesn't have a shelf life. He's taken a swing at Tarasenko. He's taken a swing at Kane. He's taken a swing at DeBrincat, who was a little younger but hasn't lived up to his expectations. Go and get someone who is elite, who has a real shelf life. Go get someone like Mikko Rantanen, even though it might be a little bit too much money or not the right fit. Throw enough money at him and make it work. That's what elite franchises do. You make it work. The Senators need a goalie. They get Linus Ullmark, and now they look to be a real threat in the Eastern Conference. When you make elite moves like that, you can be an elite franchise, and that's where the Red Wings need to get back to. Being an elite franchise, make elite franchise moves, and you need to bring in D that can protect Seider, ASP, and Edmondson, so they are not they're not having to carry the entire defensive load.
Here's the thing. Spending it to your point, yes, the free agents that are signed, what got out of them aren't there, but what I impressed upon you, look at the tenure of the contracts.
Yeah.
All these guys they're buffers. They always were not committed. Imagine if you were Nashville or you're the Rangers or whatever like this, with all this commitment to all these guys, and you're going through this shit. There's something to be said. You're not wrong, right? Because you're not wrong, because you need guys in here.
Yep.
But the saving grace to the fact that we all understand the one guy who's not changing in this organization out of anybody, Chris Ilitch will be bought out before Steve Yzerman will not be, unless Steve, right?
Yeah.
My argument is just why God is God. It's not changing.
Yeah.
So let's try to figure out, and it was one of these, if I miss, it can't cost me till there. Yes, he's supposed to make these free agent signings. They're supposed to come in and at least be even money.
Yeah.
At least be right. They're not.
They're
Dog
not.
shit.
But I do think that McClellan will get the best out of these guys.
I think here's the one thing, and I know this, right? You have to. I didn't think that this team respected their coach.
Yes.
There was and the way that they carried it. Not that didn't respect him. Yeah, you're my coach, but when you imply things that there's guys bigger than you. Tom McClellan comes in, and he comes in more with the cowboy, ripped from Yellowstone mentality.
Yeah.
That this is the way it is, right? It's this way or not, and I guarantee. So the conversation has been going on, and I'm sure he's been watching from a distance for a while with what he would do and how he's going to try. Maybe it is bringing up some younger guys. I don't know. But you know what? this is the best thing to happen. The time is now. The team and everything put themselves in this position. So this is what we've been calling for, hasn't it? A coaching change to try to see if we can salvage this.
Yeah, that was my question to y'all. Do y'all think this hiring does save the Wings this season, or are
the fact
they too
that I'm
far
going to go to the game.
Yes.
Or I'm going to pay attention.
They're watchable now.
It's brought it for right now, right? It's brought me back to the date because you show me something has changed, and I'm eager to see what that is.
Hey, Derek Lalonde. Eat this shirt. Woo! You're not our coach anymore. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Aggressive.
I appreciate you as a person, though. I wish you the best of luck, but thank God you are not the coach of this hockey team anymore. Holy crap. This is such a great day. Such a great day.
Merry Christmas.
That's great. Hey, Spenny, isn't that nice breaking news for our show?
It is. It's good. And, of course, the guy to give it to us is Steve Eichmann. Of course.
I'm just saying.
Leave it to Stevie to throw us a bone.
Thanks, 1-9.
Yep.
Thanks, 1-9. About time you threw us a freaking bone.
Let's go to break. We'll come back.
Bone.
We'll keep talking about some Red Wings. Obviously, the big news. Derek Lalonde out as the head coach of the Detroit Red Wings. But first, Justin, tell us about the pregame show.
I will tell you about the pregame show, but not before I tell you about Woodward in Maine. Hey, Detroit, on game day, wake up with Woodward in Maine, your source for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champions, your Detroit Lions, with insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder. Get ready, Detroit, every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. Woodward in Maine, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Teller Mordew Irish Whiskey. And then stay tuned after that for the New Holland pregame show. It's New Holland Brewing Company pregame show every game day. Neil Rule and Sean Berlegian bring you the best Lions pregame show Sunday 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports, live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. The latest injury reports, fantasy sits and starts, and the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions. Join us every Sunday, home games live at Second Best Bar in Detroit, your official guide to Lions game day on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, Long Drink, local Sabbath Coffee, Teller Mordew Irish Whiskey, and Les Stanford Chevrolet.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. It's not the Red Wings that have a new coach, but they've got new chicken wings. 7 different flavors for you to choose from. My favorite is the spicy garlic. Try them all and choose for yourself. Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. Find a Soroki's near you at Sorokis.com.
Hey, welcome to Big D Energy. We are coming up on 12:30 right now, and we have been brilliantly gifted a late Christmas present. Derek Lalonde has been fired from the Detroit Red Wings. And shout out to Dante151 for the $4.99 super chat. Let's freaking go. No more BS in Detroit with the Red Wings. Way to go, Stevie Y. Now little Chris spent some more money on the Tigers. Stoke not scared.
Stoke not scared.
That's it. I mean, and it's a change, right? And it's something that, because the whole thing is we know what we have with the team, and it's not working out.
Yeah.
Not working out. And it's the eyeball test of its energy. Right, and I know that the law's fired and you guys want to talk or whatever like this, but I want to turn it over, Spenny, to the fact of where I don't have to worry we're energy in this town, and it's not Ford Field, it's at LCA, and it's with your Detroit Pistons. So hopefully now that the Red Wings under Coach Todd Lalonde can play with the assertiveness, let's say the aggressiveness of what the Detroit Pistons have so far this year, led by their, is it fair to say, Spenny, to you basketball guys, that Cade Cunningham could be in a conversation one day for an MVP?
Yeah.
Or is that too far off?
No, I think that's something you could say for sure. He's definitely got the talent and the ability to be one of the best players in the NBA. So we're going to see. Obviously, he's been playing lights. His past 10 games have been just unbelievable basketball. So needs to keep it going. You got a big game coming up, and you expect him to go out there and take care of business.
So in saying that, right now, when is the NBA trade deadline?
Let me check.
February 6th, I want to say.
So right now, and this is the first time, like, being serious. Obviously, we go to this part and this time of the year and go, okay, who can we get rid of? Last year, Bogdanovich, or what can we get, or whatever. But this year, could we be buyers? Is there or are we still a year away with this team?
I think we're still a year away in terms of actually getting to the playoffs and making noise. But this team has a lot of holes in the roster, even as presently constructed. They need a backup point guard in the worst way possible. They also could use a backup big man as well, because Isaiah Stewart is great, but he only gives you so much. So I think those are areas that they need to explore. But if they wanted to go after a bigger name, they could. They do have assets. The rumor is they're trying to be a third team involved in a trade with two other teams to maybe yield something back. So I don't know what that looks like, but there are slightly bigger names out here on the market. Your Vucevic's, your I can't think of the names right now, but yeah, there's bigger names that you can go after if they choose to.
Yeah, I mean, there's the backup point guard is for sure a thing. You're going to need to get a stretch forward because Tobias Harris cannot do it. He's not good. He's not a good basketball player anymore. Unfortunately, you got him for another year, but you're going to have to look to fill that role pretty soon, and then you got to look to what you're going to do with Jalen Duren. So at this year, if you want to go in, I would be fine with them buying and adding a piece to make the playoffs this year. But I don't think they're going to do that. I agree with what KG said. They'll probably be that third team in a trade to get somebody for nothing, like how the Cavs got Jared Allen for free on a trade with between the Nets and I believe it was the Lakers. I can't remember who it was. I could see the Lions the Pistons, slipping in there and being that third team to kind of get an ancillary piece for nothing much. But going forward, those are the biggest needs: is a stretch 4 and a 5. Because you look at Jalen Duren, I'm not paying Jalen Duren $26 million a year. And that's what he's going to command on the NBA market. That's what he's going to need very soon. So you're either going to have to trade him or just let him walk. And I don't think that is something that this front office is taking lightly. There are going to be a lot of decisions when it comes to that. Ivy's getting his contract. Ivy's getting extended. He's been playing great this year. Jalen Duren is a piece that you look at to where he is an easily replaceable piece in the modern NBA when it comes to draft or adding a veteran 5. I don't know what route they're going to take. I know JB Bickerstaff likes vets, so I wouldn't be surprised if they make a move, but I'm not calling for it yet this year.
So we can agree it's and I see it in the chat thread where more times than not the fans say we don't have the assets, but it's something that you want to be in the mix to be that third team. Maybe it's a salary thing, maybe it's to generate something. So Spenny, would you say it's more of because the Jalen Duren thing is a big question, and that's more like attitude, right?
Yeah.
Where it's something that we've talked about is what's the miss there, and it's I don't know, is the word engagement?
It's like engagement, effort, and it's just...
One of these things is not like the other. Am I right when I watch this team, and then I see in moments like he's the one guy that's off that doesn't fit.
If Jalen Duren had Isaiah Stewart's drive, he'd be a top 10 center in the NBA. But 100%. He just doesn't have it. He doesn't have the effort. He's lackadaisical on defense. He doesn't know his rotations, and he doesn't attack the rim as he should. This is a guy that could be the perfect quintessential center to have with Cade Cunningham. Because of his skills, because of his size and his athletic ability, he could be a nasty lob threat. He could be an insane rim protector, but he doesn't have the mentals at this point. And I know he's young. I know he can still develop, but this is a guy you're going to have to pay. Yeah. And I'm not looking to pay him. I'm not. I'm not paying a guy and hoping he shows up eventually.
Yeah.
You already got Kate Cunningham in a max deal. You're going to have to get Jaden Ivey $150 million. Like, you've got these young guys in there like Asar Thompson and like Ron Holland that have their flaws when it comes to their game as well, but they're giving you mass level effort. And they're going out there and they're working in the system, and that's what JB Bickerstaff needs. A guy like Jalen Duren that doesn't give you effort is not going to thrive in a JB Bickerstaff system.
But doesn't that
we have more breaking news for the Lions, actually. The Lions have just signed Teddy Bridgewater as he is coming out of retirement.
Wait,
Teddy
what?
Two Gloves.
Yeah.
Stop it. For real?
Ian Rappaport just reported that Teddy Bridgewater is
What?
coming out of
Didn't he win
retirement
the championship
and
down
is
in-
expected to sign with the Lions.
He won
was
his
a head
high school
coach, yeah.
championship down in whatever. And
Down in Florida,
hey, what is that? As your
Teddy
third
Two
quarterback? Is that for insurance,
I think
for
it's
practice?
I think it's to be your backup quarterback.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Again,
That's
irrelevant.
crazy. That was not
because
on my
you
bingo
don't
card.
need the top guy to go down.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it don't. It don't.
But I just thought it was funny. I had to bring it up.
Good veteran to
I
have in
thought
the
you
room.
were going to say the coaching staff, but not actual player at this point.
Spenny, at the end of the day,
That's crazy.
and here it comes down to me, is you look at your best player. What does your best player lead with? Effort.
Yeah.
Right? Both ends of the court. So that's got to filtrate down. Like your Ivies are your talented, super talented guys, but your role guys and the guys that got to be there have to emulate what your leader is. So that, to me, why the Duren doesn't work, and it seems like as we go, it doesn't work. One of these things is not like the other to play that Cade mentality, because that Bickerstaff mentality, the way that Cade plays, because you've even said with Ivy, he comes along. Right? Like, you're not talking about his effort or whatever like that.
Yeah, he showed up this year.
Right? Exactly like this. You talk about the young guys, right? Like the Sir Thompson, the Holland Juniors. Yes, getting better, but there's a way to play. And I think that's the biggest thing here is as they're starting to develop that culture is who's in and who's in the way. And there's glaring spots. You got to improve this, got to improve that, whatever like this over time. But
Right. And
but
we still got a little time.
slowly but surely, correct?
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I would love to see them just war chest this trade deadline and get those first round pick assets that you need to go trade for a star. You see all these mega trades, and I don't think you're going to be able to lure a big free agent to Detroit, even if you give him the bag. What?
Who are they going to give up to get these first round picks?
The third team in. I mean, there's going to be some
yeah,
flexibility somewhere. You're going to have to take on another bad contract for the end of the year, and it's the way you build in the NBA. But you have to have a war chest, and that's the only way you're going to be able to get a second star next to Cade is by war chesting and having the capital to go after somebody, and that's what you need to do this trade deadline.
And to the Duren point, you still got a little bit of time on him. Hopefully he improves within that time because he'll be a restricted free agent before he actually hits the open market. But even at this point, if another team matches, you know, a $20 to $25 million contract, would you want to match that if you're the Detroit Pistons? I just don't know.
And that's what it is. It's, you know, you got his bird rights because you drafted him, so you could obviously offer him the most amount of money. But I don't know if that's. I don't want to. I wouldn't sign him to a $20+ million contract. I wouldn't.
Are we having Andre Drummond?
It's worse.
It's worse.
It's
Yeah.
worse.
Worse
that's
than
crazy.
That. So
Yes.
am I right? And hey, it smells like that, and you're like, yeah, but it's a 2-story fire now.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, Andre Drummond was a walking.
He had an elite skill. Yeah. Rebounding was an elite
If Jalen
skill.
Duren was out there getting 20 rebounds a game every game, I'd be fine. If he was scoring, he gets lost in games where he doesn't get active. He's not a part of the offense. He's not rotating on defense, and you can't do that in the NBA. So we'll see.
All right, we'll see. Where do you want to go?
What a day.
I'll tell you guys about Mark White, because Mark White will save you up to $5,000 of your closing costs if you're looking to buy or sell a new home. Visit him at markwhitesales.com or call him at 248-290-8242. Mark White will save you up to $5,000 of your closing costs to help you get in your dream home. Make sure you call Mark White first. What about Salvation Army, D-Mac?
Absolutely. When you give to the Salvation Army, your donation makes it possible to serve our community's most vulnerable. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, the Salvation Army of Metro Detroit's 2024 Red Cattle Christmas campaign fundraising goal is $7 million. Your contributions will help provide love beyond Christmas to individuals in need of food, shelter, and compassion. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to donate.sagreatlakes.org to donate.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Oh, KDK Law, that's me, dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 10 plus years of experience, 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Iserman with the KDK.
Big the energy back here on an exciting Boxing Day. Go out there and punch your neighbor. No, just kidding. Make sure you get your packages out. Steve Yzerman of the Detroit Red Wings delivered the greatest Christmas present of the 2024. Better than my Nike shoes, Spenny. Better than any anime that you got.
I can finally wear my Red Wings jersey that I got.
Absolutely. Well, you're going to wear it with pride tomorrow.
Oh, I will.
When they face the Toronto Maple Leafs here and their new coach, Todd McLellan. Let's dig a little bit deeper into who T-Mac really is. Like I told you before, he was an assistant coach here when we won the Cup in 07, 08. Great guy. And right after that, he coached the San Jose Sharks from 2008 to 2015. Then he went and coached the Edmonton Oilers from 2015 to 2018. And then from 2019 to 2024 up till the beginning of this year, coached the LA Kings. So, as you see, he has some tenure in this NHL. I know that he's coached the likes of the Joe Thorntons and the Marlows and Pavelskis, and obviously he's had Connor McDavid and Anze Kopitar, top-level players, the guy that's been around. One of the things that I love about Todd McLellan, and I'm sure, and if you pull up his Wikipedia page, he's got that resting bitch face, right?
Yeah, he
not,
does.
Not always happy, but what I would say is he's more of a player's coach. And what does player's coach mean? Player's coach means is that he's not going to BS you. Right? If he wants you to play a certain way or has an issue with you, he's going to pull you aside. More of have a man-to-man talk or whatever. Doesn't have to be that. He's more of the personable guy. You're going to walk. I've mentioned stories before, of Scotty Bowman. Scotty Bowman, you could be in the hotel and pass each other in the hallway, and he will ignore you like he'd never seen you in your life. But yet, at the rink, he knows all your family and your kids. Todd McLellan, you're down in the morning, right? You go, he's in line to get a coffee at Starbucks or whatever, right? Sees you walk in, knows what you want, grabs you one. You go over, you have a nice conversation about life. That's the type of guy that you're dealing with, the type of human being. Now, coaching-wise, obviously, some different success. Obviously, playoff success. Obviously, coaching, some really good NHL hockey clubs. So I like the fact that there's familiarity with him and this organization, this city. He's held in high regard by a lot of us in this organization that won cups with him for the type of human being that he is. So it doesn't allude to wins or losses, but as far as a guy that can deliver a message and has no BS. This is what they need right now.
And I completely agree. And what I like to look at in his career is what he did with the San Jose Sharks. When he got there, he led them to the most successful run that the San Jose Sharks have had in their franchise. And that's important because they had a lot of young players and a lot of vets in this really interesting mix, a lot like what the Red Wings have right now. And he didn't have a losing season when he was the coach of the Sharks. He then was 50-50 on his losing seasons with his next 2 stops. But, I mean, talk about a guy who has the respect around the NHL. This guy has been in the league for a very long time. He knows how to run a system. He knows how to run a team. And that's the biggest thing. The things that we were bitching about and we're all on Lalonde about, I don't think is going to be what we're on Todd about. I think that we are going to be able to sit back and we're going to watch a team that has life, that cares, and that knows that they're moving in the right direction towards the Stanley Cup caliber team that they're supposed to be in the next 3 to 5 years.
And if I was going to use a comparable to somebody, and this isn't, but we all know John Tortorella.
Yes.
Right, who coaches in Philly or whatever, who we see he's, a quote machine or whatever, but has that sort of no BS, sort of old school, if you would say. Would he be one of the most old school coaches sort of in the league? Well, Todd McClellan is sort of a lighter side of that, more, what would I say, more understanding of his environment, but the same sort of fire and the same no nonsense. And I think that that's the biggest thing as I look at this team is they need direction. And they need somebody to come in there and smack them on side the head and say, let's go, to find out exactly what you do have. And it's almost like enough's enough because it's effort. And that's all it is. It isn't wins and losses. It's effort. So sure as shit, you better expect to see more so. And no better team, right? Because, hey, honestly, the one game this year that I could say you played as complete a game that you played was a couple weeks ago at home against Toronto.
Yep.
So you got them again tomorrow night in your coach's debut, which always means something. So if you're not going down, you might want to make it down or at least throw it on to see if you see something different. Because definitely I'm excited, and it may take a few games. But I gotta believe, Jesus, that this lineup is gonna look a little different as far as lines. Right?
I would bet. There's no doubt. He is going to come in here and he's going to make it his own. He's everything that Lalonde tried, he's going to try differently. And he saw the way that they responded to Lalonde. I think that they're going to have to respond better, and I think you're going to see a team that actually wants to win. And over his tenure with the Sharks, they were in the top 10 in penalty kill every year. Mm-hmm. And that's a slam dunk. If he can bring the Wings to 15, then they're going to be pretty fun to watch the rest of the season.
That's a great point because he was in charge of the PK and the special teams back when we won that championship in 08. And if you don't remember that 5-on-3 that was killed, right, by Rafalski, Lidstrom, and Zetterberg in the front, right? That's got.
Oh yeah,
that's giving me the chills right now.
Man, I miss Rafalski. What a sign that guy was.
He's around.
Yeah,
he's around living life. But that's the way he is. That is. It's one of the names that you're like, oh, wow.
I always, every time I see one of those things, it's like, who's your favorite like role player on a team? It's always Yuri Hoodler for me. I was a big Yuri Hoodler guy.
What a beauty that was. Do I got stories about him? He's a beauty. He's a beauty. Yeah, just I remember how you always remember at the cup parade or whatever like that, him talking with Kwame, having beers and stuff like that.
Yuri's the man.
He was.
And I want to address a comment in the chat.
Uh-oh.
It says, in other words, this is Skydog, by the way. In other words, they replaced Lalonde with a coach that's been bounced around the league. Impressive. What I would say to that is this is a guy with tenure. This is a guy who has been successful in multiple places he's been. And when you're dealing with a coach like this, if you want to look at the Tortorellas of the world, what coach hasn't been passed around like this? When you are this high level of a name that people want, you're guaranteed to get interest and get jobs. And when you have a mutual part weighing with the Sharks, you're going to find more jobs. That's exactly what happened in the couple years after the Sharks. And then he became the head coach of the Canada national team. And you see how the career pathway leads back to the NHL.
You look all around. Look at Paul Maurice. Finally won his championship, whatever. You tell me he wasn't a great coach or whatever. It's all about ingredients. It's putting the chef with the right ingredients, right, in the team. So we'll see if this works. What I like is what you said. What are your deficiency that he focuses on? You got the worst PK in the league. He's a special teams, mindset where that's the side of the ice that he's worked with the most, and he's got pedigree. So sometimes too, it takes some time. He's learned though, so you don't think he's learned from being an assistant coach to leading that San Jose team to going to Edmonton to whatever. Like, everybody's always evolving. So who says that this isn't what makes it work? This is what you need, and this is what this team needs. This type of guy at their worst moments in what, a long time.
Yeah.
This is like at the rock bottom of Yzerman's tenure.
It's like the Pistons last year.
Right? So now at least we're doing something about it.
And I also love the fact that he coached the National Canadian Junior team. It is such a big factor that he knows how to coach youth. And he won championships with them. That is one of the best junior organizations in the world. He knows how to deal with youth. He's going to improve these players. I'd expect you to see a lot of improvement from Mo Seider in this second half. I think Lalonde has been hindering his development for the last 2 years, and I don't think he's made quite the step to the Norris standard that I believe that he can be. I think Spenny believes that he can be. I think DMAC believes that Seider can be a Norris Trophy winner, and I think that Lalonde was hindering those steps, and I can't wait to have someone.
See, I kind of disagree with that because I do see the step that Mo Seider has even made this year. I would put him as a top 5 defenseman in the NHL this year with what he could do. It's just when you have nobody else, when you are getting 25 minutes, 28 minutes of ice time, and you're +1 in a game that you lose 5-2, like that says something about you. So
it's so impressive.
It's so much deeper than that, Spenny, and at least you see it on that level. By the way, this just in, I heard that it was one of Easy's final Swedish reports that got Lalonde fired. Yeah. So shout out to Easy. Way to go, Easy. Misinformation finally worked for you. When we come back, questions in the chat. Ask DMAC, ask Jesus, ask KG, ask Spenny, whatever you want on this glorious Boxing Day. Congratulations, Tom McClellan. 29th coach of the Detroit Red Wings.
I got you.
Shout out Todd McClellan. Hopefully you can get in here and turn it around. And if you can watch the Lions play with Woodward Sports every game live at Hayes Social, the watch party and the post-game show both live at Hayes Social, presented by New Holland Brewing Company, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza, and 1800 Tequila. Woodward Sports live watch party. Make sure you check it out. The heavyweights won't be there this week because we're going to be at Second Best for the pregame show, but make sure you come out and join us at Hayes Social. It'll be a lot of fun.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer with 18 locations. There's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the nearest location. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. Catch Woodward Sports live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday.
Final segment here. Big the energy on a Boxing Day. Yeah, that's right. Canadian, we get double pay. OT and the greatest gift ever.
Right.
Steve Yzerman, Tom McClellan announced as your 29th head coach of the Detroit Red Wings. So at least, what does this mean? It just means change. And the fact that, hey, I won my last cup with Tom McClellan. I know what a straight dude he is. Somebody who's going to be no nonsense to come in and change this up. I love what you said, uses the fact that in his evolution as, different spots in the NHL has been into the World Juniors. So knowing how to deal with some of the younger guys, which that is what this is about. So in saying that, the decision being made isn't just about this year, it's about the future and about the youth coming up, obviously multi-year deal. So a lot has been put into this. I think it was expected. I think that a lot of us wanted this a lot earlier, but at least if this is, and I feel the right decision to be made for this group moving forward, then let's go. And I'm more excited than I've been. Kenny, what do I say?
Empathetic.
Absolutely. Like
Yep.
the apathy,
Yeah.
it's on hold. Right? Because I will be down there tomorrow night to see if the eyeball test is different. It should be. Playing the Toronto Maple Leafs at home. Leafs fans are going to be, it's holiday season. There's going to be more Leaf fans in that building than usual. So we got to come out and give our new coach a home win and show that is different.
Yeah, I completely agree. You got to come out and you got to rally. I think they will. I can't imagine how they won't. They've looked so pedestrian this entire season. They have to have some energy. Like this is like, if Costa gives you energy, man, this got to feel like cocaine.
Yeah, and if you're going up against Toronto again as your next matchup, I would take the Red Wings over whatever it is in their next matchup. It's in Toronto, correct? Or is it at home?
All right, mailbag for D-Mac.
It's here.
Did you
If
get
it's
your
here, yeah, I'd
sweatpants
take their
for
over.
Christmas from the away fan?
I did not.
All right, well, keep
Did he
checking your
send-
mail.
That's if you sent them here. They're here, Spenny.
Oh, they're here? Okay, yeah, I'm taking their over. They'll score at least 3 goals.
Yeah,
in
that's
Plus
gonna be
135 right
finna
now.
be lit up.
At what?
Plus 135 straight up.
Oh, well, all right.
Minus 190 at plus 1.5.
Well, speaking of that, mailbag, I got a $222 bonus bet on Caesars. What bet should I use it on? Expires January 5th. I would tell you Georgia against Notre Dame.
I don't know. I
Money
went
line.
3 for 3 yesterday. Jalen Warren over 19.5 receiving yards. Steph Curry to score 30 and Steph Curry to score 35 plus.
I'd also take whatever Spenny bets on for the Lions.
Yeah, I would take Lions for sure.
Spenny,
Yeah,
Spenny hit me a
Lions on the
beautiful
spread.
Jamison Williams parlay last weekend. Shout out to Spenny.
Yeah.
I added a couple legs, but the basis of it was completely from Spenny, and I appreciate it.
I would take the Lions with the points right now
Yeah.
for sure. It's like minus 3.5 or something like that.
How is that
But I
at
would
this
save it
point
for a
of the
little bit.
season, right? Is everybody in your gambling sort of to date? Would you say it's a pot that you're up?
I've made a lot of money this year.
Made a lot of money this year.
Yeah, I've had
Spinny, yeah.
I've had a very, I've had a
that's
very
what
good
you.
year.
That, I would expect that if the
Allegedly.
Lions are winning like they are and covering and stuff and whatever. What'd you say?
I said allegedly.
Right, don't let the
Yeah,
tax
right,
people
yeah,
know.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I've allegedly made a lot of money off college football. Allegedly.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
Justin's been hot in college football for sure.
Pause.
So who do
College
you
football
got?
guy and Lions guy over there. We will make you money.
There it is. Stay tuned with that. And on that note,
My big pick is I think Ohio State is going to beat Oregon.
wow.
Ooh.
I don't.
There you go, Spenny. Who's in tomorrow?
I don't know.
Stay
We don't
tuned.
know.
It's another
Right.
surprise, but I tell you this.
We don't know.
I don't think they can get a coach fired on the day that
No, they
they're in.
cannot. I won't be here. Have a great weekend, guys. Have a happy New
Thanks
Year.
for joining us, for KG, for Spenny, for Jesus. I'm D-Mac Deuces. We're out.
Thanks for making the call, man.